agnostic. It wasn't until I met and married Bud that he convinced me that there was a God, but it was only in Mormonism. So he baptized me a Mormon, baptized all 4 of our kids when they came along as Mormons. But after a short time, I started realizing that all of the Mormon scriptures contradicted each other. And I'd ask Bud what I'm supposed to believe because they're contradicting each other. And he would say, I don't know, go ask the bishop. So I went and asked the bishop, and the bishop said, stop asking questions, it's not faith promoting. And so I just stopped asking questions and just tried to study the Bible and the other books to see what was the truth. And then I had a bad situation with Bud's father, and he attacked me and tried to rape me. That was just the last straw. He was raised in polygamy, and he thought it was okay to have many wives, even if it was your son's wife. So we sold our house in Salt Lake City, and we escaped to California. Raised all 4 of our kids for 15 years without any religious training. And when our oldest daughter divorced her husband because he was violent, he shot and killed her. And I had my head in the sand for a couple years, not paying much attention to the other kids, plus taking care of my mother, who was dying of cancer. When along came our last daughter, who said she was being baptized a Jehovah's Witness. So I started going to the churches, Monday through Friday, to ask how I could show my daughter that the Watchtower was a cult. And the pastors didn't have any help. And then it just really shocked me that they never asked me if I was a Christian. They never prayed for me. And then my mother died. And it was just like I had so much grief I couldn't go on. And I took the rifle and I went down to the barn. And I was just going to end it all. I just didn't want to go on. And I couldn't get the rifle to work, and I knew how to use a rifle. But anyway, I had to give up, and I went back up to the house. And Bud came home and saw me carrying the rifle up to the house, and he said, what are you doing with the rifle? And I said, the damn thing won't work, the damn thing won't work. And it wasn't but the next day my niece called, who asked us to meet him in Sacramento Arco Arena for a free concert. Well, that sounded really nice. We were going to go out for ice cream afterward. So we went there, and we're listening to this wonderful music, but it was the words. The words were just so touching and so soothing and so refreshing. And then the strangest thing, this man got up there on the stage, and he started pacing back and forth, and it finally dawned on me, that's a preacher. This isn't a free concert. This is a crusade. And so I listened to what he had to say, that I had a sin nature, that I had a dead spirit, all because of Adam and Eve, and that I needed to be born again. And it was things I'd never heard before. So when they had the altar call, I think I was the first one down there. And the pastor stopped me and he talked to me, and he asked me lots of questions that I had no answer for. As a Mormon, I didn't know anything. And so he explained the gospel to me, and I accepted the Lord right then and there. But when I got up to go down, Bud got up and took a couple of steps, and he thought, well, this is so stupid, and he went back and sat down. But he watched down there. And so after I accepted the Lord, I started back up the steps, and he was watching me, and he said it was really strange because I had this glow about me. Well, Mormons don't know anything about glow. So this, I look back at that, is a very interesting comment. And they told me how to find a good church, and that's what I did. Bud decided to go with me and see what churches were all about. And a few months later, he accepted the Lord. And we've been serving the Lord ever since. And now that we quit traveling after 15 years of traveling, speaking in churches and conferences, now that we quit traveling, we go into the county jail Thursdays and Saturday mornings and do Bible study. And the Lord is blessing us in that. That's what we're doing now.
Okay. Anything else?
What you want to say?
All right. Well, thanks.
Got my whole life history there almost.
All right. How long ago was this?
We were, let's see, we were saved in '86, so that was 20 years ago. Okay, when we became Christians, about 2 years later, we were able to answer our Jehovah's Witness daughter with answers from the Bible. And so she disowned us and said we were haters of Jehovah and we were the whore of Babylon. And so we didn't see our daughter and our 3 grandkids for almost 15 years. And it was now so sad at holidays because we didn't have our 2 daughters, and but we had our sons who have now become Christians. Their families Christians, and it's just awesome. And then 5 years ago, I had major brain surgery, and God used that to reunite us with our daughter and her family. And when we got together with her for the first time, I hardly knew it was her because she was so paranoid and hypochondriac and mentally unstable. And it was such a shock that I could hardly realize it. But in the last 5 years that we've been with her, she has improved, almost being our daughter again. She's still a Jehovah's Witness, but we're loving her back to health, and the togetherness is wonderful.